I look like a bit of a wally, but literally no one's around, so it's fine. So this is me testing my new camera, and yes, it's going very well, thank you. I got this little camera for Christmas. It's the Insta360 Go Ultra, and I've barely used it. So I thought an art day out in the lakes is the perfect opportunity to try it out. So here's how it went. Currently sitting on the edge of a Ray Castle next to a Lake Windermere. Got my delicious coffee from Joey's Cafe, and I've got my homemade sketchbook that I haven't started yet. All of my lovely art supplies. I look like a bit of a wally, but literally no one's around, so it's fine. So this was my first and only try with using the headband cam. It actually does look pretty good. I had to cut out all of the jerkiness in the end, and the camera just does do kind of like a weird movement there where it's like moving from side to side a little bit. But overall, it's not terrible. I think I can probably figure out how to use it in the future, because I think this is a kind of like a really nice POV of the sketchbook. I can't do it, guys. It's too uncomfortable, and I'm pretty sure the footage is super jerky because I keep looking up and looking down and then looking up and then looking down, and I can't concentrate on the building because I can't see it because headband sort of hurts, and then I keep thinking, oh, I'm not looking at the page, no one can see this. So yeah, I don't like it. I'm just gonna maybe just like do a couple of warm-up drawings and I'll show you what I did, and then maybe later I'll try and get the old tripod out and film properly. We're not going to stay here too long, probably like maybe an hour. Just going to do a couple of drawings that I'm happy with. Then we'll move on. I arrived late spring, early summer in the Lake District with absolutely not a single green. Not a single green to my name. This is the best I got. Neon yellow. Brilliant. And I think shots like this will be super helpful just to kind of establish location. Alright, first warm-up sketch. Completely inaccurate. But it was a fun warm-up sketch. And that's the view. Can't beat that on a Wednesday, can you? My word, it's gorgeous out. It's currently 11, and I did buy a sausage roll to save and have for lunch, but I'm actually quite peckish, and it's warm now, so I'm gonna eat it now. And Joey's, the vegan sausage rolls from Joey's Cafe is so good. I'm very looking forward to it, and just enjoy this gorgeous view. And I just love a little art dates with myself. This is like, I think, the first big art day I've done by myself in the Lake District, so I'm excited. Been here about an hour and I've done 3 drawings. This one here, which was my warm-up. And I tried to do this one with like more detail, but it did not work. Didn't like that one. And then I did this one, which kind of takes in the whole view from that tree all the way around to those trees over there. So now I'm going to go ahead for my walk. I think it's about 3 miles. So yeah, I'll film a little bit and I'll probably stop and draw a couple of times along the way before we end up in Hawkshead. It was pretty windy this day, and I didn't realize just how much the wind was affecting the noise. So I've tried to keep the audio as normal as possible because I have adjusted it later on in the video, which you might be able to hear, and it does get a little bit robotic. I have recently learned that I can plug it into my Dji Mic Mini camera, so I want to try that in the future and see if we can get a bit of a better voiceover. I just stopped and took a photo of this path to draw later, and then I continued walking. After like 10 steps I thought, wait, what am I doing? I could literally just sit down and draw it. So here I am, I'm gonna draw this lovely winding path with these beautiful trees. I might need to go back a bit though, because I want to draw this tree, but I'm too close to it, I think. Gosh, it's so beautiful out. So while I'm just drawing here, I'll mention the color. It was super vibrant. It did get a little bit bright in shots, but there are a few presets that you can use. I think I wasn't using anything here, but when I do my full review, we can go over all of the presets and compare them. So this is what I have. It's a bit of a mess. It's fun though. It was nice to sit down and draw it. Trees are hard, guys. Trees are hard. That's the beautiful view. Just like being there, isn't it? I stopped again to draw this view and the cow's gone. But honestly, I'm finding it really difficult today. I think it's the mix of, I don't know, like I feel like I'm rushing, and also I'm using this sketchbook that I made that every single paper is different, and I've got like nice colours, but all the wrong colours. I just want all my greens and I don't have any. And I'm making excuses, aren't I? I should just suck it up. Yeah, but it's been lovely to sit and draw anyway, like just sitting in nature and listening to the sounds and having the sun on me, and it's just lovely just to sit and do this. So maybe the drawings won't turn out amazing, but I'll be able to look back and have some lovely memories. So that's the view, and there's the sketch. Walking up this hill, apparently there's a view at the top. Better be good, this is getting steepish. That's a nice view here. So this is a typical walking shot. Sometimes it was on that necklace, sometimes I was holding it in front of me. A little bit jerky, but still pretty good, I think.
So I was just walking from that path there, gorgeous view, the hills over there. But this view caught my eye of these lovely little houses nestled in the trees and that pylon there. Ugh, can't resist a pylon. I was brave and I did it on this pink paper. Let's see how this goes.
This section here was the windiest of the entire trip. I was up on a little hill and I was just catching all of the breeze. So the audio around this clip is probably a little bit robotic. Try to enhance it so you could at least hear what I'm saying, but it does go a little bit R2D2 at times. So that's something that we're going to look at in the future.
I made a picture that I really like. It's still very messy, and the colours, I think the colours go together pretty well. Maybe that neon yellow is a tiny bit out of place, like it kind of doesn't really fit the blue and pink vibe, but I really like it. It's kind of fun. And that was nice just to sit here and draw it. So it really need to be, how many? 6 drawings before I got one that I liked. 1 out of 6, and that's pretty good. I like all of them, but this one, the first one that made me feel like, oh yeah, this is cool. And it's gorgeous to see here. I'm just like literally in the farmer's field right now. Glad to be here. I'm gonna head on top of it. It is 1:18. So yeah, I've got another like maybe a mile to go. And then we're gonna head and we're gonna have a look around at the shops. It's a pretty fun day out, actually. Yeah.
So that was my little art date in the lakes. I think I gave this camera a pretty good test with walking around, the colours, animals, buildings, shadows, interiors, exteriors, and even a little bit of drawing. I do think there's so much more that we can do. Some pros of the camera that I really like: it's portable, it's really small, it comes with a whole bunch of different accessories that we're going to look at in a second, but that will kind of help you work how you want to work. Some negatives at the moment, I still don't know quite how I'm going to use it for my art, but I'm determined to try. And the sound, but I do think that I'd be able to fix that with my microphone and some settings in the future. So overall, I think it was a pretty successful trip. Even if I hadn't used my camera, I would have enjoyed this lovely day out by myself. But we have one little stop before we get back to the studio. Sitting on the rocks, it's a bit noisy here. But I thought I would just draw this view. It's so lovely. I gotta be careful though, because all of my pencils may fall into the water. So I'm gonna hold on to them pretty tight. I might not film anything, but I'll film like
maybe stages as they go. That could be kind of fun.
And then one thing I did that I always do with my cameras is forget when I turned it on or turned it off. So I did have this fun little viewpoint of my sketchbook here, and I also heard the jets. But I didn't see them because my camera was in my lap.
I think I finished. I did this. I don't like them trees that I did at the top there. That's kind of weird. But everything else is kind of fun. Lifelike as always.
I filmed about 4 hours on this camera, so the battery life's pretty good.
I have less than 10% on my battery, so I'm going to take that as a sign that it's time to go home.
That was my
really
first
lovely
try
day out
with this
though.
little camera. It's a cute little thing, isn't it? But I think I still need a lot to do to figure out how to use it to how I want to use it, which is with art, going outside and drawing and painting and sharing my process. Maybe even use it for a full month and see what I can get out of it for my videos, my vlogs, my drawing at the desk, going outside, things like that. I also have the DJI, which I did film for a whole month, and I have so much footage and I haven't done a review on that yet. So maybe I could even do a comparison, a head-to-head, which is better for the artist, but that's for a different video. Let's have a look at all the things that came with this little camera and how you can use them, maybe if you're thinking of getting it for your own art. So I think I got the creator kit. Martin got me the creator kit, which came with so much stuff. 2 tripods. I don't know why I need both of these. They both do different things. This one has a little push button on the bottom where you push it and it pops out into this cute little tripod. It also extends, so you could even turn it into a selfie stick or something to keep the cows away. Then there's this little guy here, which is kind of like a handy dandy hold-in camera if you wanted to do just like do selfie style. It comes with this little thingy here that lets you put an extra memory card in. These little legs that you kind of pop out and it makes another little tripod. This one also extends, but not as far. So for each of these little tripods, they come with a whole range of connectors. All these little heads here that kind of connect for different reasons. But the one I find most useful is this quick release, which if you hold it on the side, you can pull the camera out. And if you take it off of this little encasing thingy, which I actually find really difficult, you have to hold this button and then kind of wrestle with it to get it out. But once you do have it out, you can kind of connect it again onto here. And then you just got the camera there. It also comes with this little necklacey thing here, which you can magnet on again. So I was using this a lot on my day out and it was a little bit awkward. Sometimes it points up, sometimes it wobbles. Yeah, it wasn't like the perfect thing, especially if you're walking, but it's quite handy, I guess, especially if you don't want to have it in your bag. I actually kept this attached to me at all times so I could just pop it out when I needed to. And it's also got this really cool thing here where it shows you how to rotate it. So this way is landscape and this way is portrait. And it matches to the light indicator on here, which is really cool. Let me turn this on. So it matches to the light indicator. So if the light indicator is horizontal, you're filming in landscape. And if the light indicator is vertical, you're filming in portrait, which I think that's just a really cool design feature. And something that was very helpful to me because I was always forgetting which way was the right way up. Another thing I haven't tried yet is this sticky pad, which you can peel off this plastic and you can like stick this to anything. I haven't tried that one yet though. It also came with a couple of like wrist straps. This one here, Rubik's has already started chewing it, so that's great. And the last thing which I purchased for myself was the infamous headband, which we saw at the start of the video. It did come with a hat clip as well, but I seem to have misplaced that. But this here is like a little headband. You pop it on your head like this, and then you can pop the camera on. Let me see, like this. And you can have it pointing up or you can have it pointing down. I found that you should fix it first, because if you don't, you'll pull the camera off as you're trying to move it. So in theory, this should point downwards, right? But as we saw in the video, there was a lot of looking up at the castle or the trees and drawing again, so not the best. Plus, it's very uncomfortable, especially when the weather was hot. I'm going to try and fit that into my routine though and see if I can fix it. And I think the last thing it came with is this really cool little box to put everything in. But I'm going to see if I can give this a proper good go to get some nice camera angles and some like an easy setup, something I can take on the go with me to get some really nice plein air videos. So if you've used this in your art, I found it so difficult to find stuff online. I really couldn't find many people using this. It was just using it for POV daily vlogs. But if you have used this, or maybe you have the older version because this one's the newer one now, let me know any tips or tricks or anything that you think would be fun to try. And yeah, I'll give it a good go and I'll report back in a couple of months and let you know how I've been. I think it's got a lot of potential and I think it's going to be a good tool. I just need to figure out how to use it. So we'll pop it back in and away goodbye. Can you see that? So that was the first look at the Insta360 Go Ultra, but if you want to catch the full review in a couple of months, make sure you're subscribed. Leave a like or a comment if you found this video helpful, and any tips for using this little guy in the field, and I'll catch you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.